Imagine you're on a 12-hour flight, squeezed into a tiny economy seat. Your knees are practically touching the seat in front of you. The armrest feels like a battle zone. And sleep? Well, forget about it. But just a few rows ahead, someone is living the dream. Fully reclined, sipping champagne, enjoying gourmet meals and getting pampered. And here's the kicker. They didn't even pay for that luxury. What if I told you you could be sitting there too, without spending thousands of dollars? Stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 12 insider secrets that can score you an upgrade for little to no cost. But first, let's talk about how airlines decide who gets those golden upgrades. Spoiler alert, it's not as random as you think. Airlines have a priority system, and loyalty status is a big factor. But wait, that's not the whole story. Timing, how you book your flight, and even the way you present yourself can make a huge difference. We're about to break it down, separate the truth from the fiction, and give you the insider knowledge to make those upgrades happen. Trust me, you'll want to keep watching. Hack number 1, the golden booking window. Meet Lisa. She was planning to fly from New York to London and had every intention of booking her ticket weeks in advance. But life happened, and she ended up booking just 48 hours before her departure. Fast forward to the airport, and Lisa was shocked to discover she'd been upgraded to business class for free. So, what's the secret? Here's the deal. Airlines absolutely hate flying with empty business class seats. As the departure date draws nearer, they'll evaluate seat availability and often start offering upgrades, sometimes for free, to fill those premium spots. If you book within that 24 to 48-hour window, you've just hit the sweet spot. And here's the kicker. If you time your check-in just right, your chances of snagging an upgrade skyrocket. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick around because we're just getting started. Hack number 2, the strategic check-in trick. Most travelers think that checking in as soon as possible guarantees them the best seat. But what if waiting a little longer could actually land you in business class? Take James, for example. He's a frequent flyer who discovered this trick by accident. He was flying from Los Angeles to Tokyo, but got caught up with work and ended up checking in just a couple of hours before his flight. By the time he logged in, economy was completely full. No seats left. So what happened? The airline had no choice but to upgrade him to business class. So why does this work? Airlines are constantly monitoring seat availability in real time. If economy fills up and business class still has open seats, they'll start bumping passengers up to free up space. By checking in later, especially in those last few hours before departure, you boost your chances of scoring what's called an operational upgrade. Hack number 3, dressing like a business traveler. Does dressing well really increase your chances of an upgrade? You've probably heard the theory. Airlines want their premium cabins to look a certain way, so someone in a blazer and dress shoes might seem like a better fit for first class than someone in sweatpants and flip-flops. But is that the whole truth? A former airline employee revealed that while dressing sharp won't guarantee an upgrade, it can definitely give you an edge, especially when combined with other strategies. If 2 passengers are in line for an upgrade, the well-dressed one is more likely to get the nod. Plus, looking professional can make a positive impression on gate agents and flight crew, which can absolutely work in your favor. But here's the fact. There's actually something that might matter even more than your wardrobe when it comes to scoring an upgrade. And that secret is coming up next. Hack number 4, the secret power of airline credit cards. You think airline credit cards are just for earning miles? Think again. These cards come with some seriously hidden perks that can push you straight to the top of the upgrade list. Most airlines partner with major credit card companies, and frequent flyers with these co-branded cards often get priority for upgrades, even if they don't have elite status. What they don't advertise is that just having one of these cards can sometimes bump you ahead of regular passengers when an empty seat opens up in business or first class. In fact, some cardholders automatically qualify for free or deeply discounted upgrades, even on economy tickets. And if you pair this with the right check-in timing, your chances of getting bumped up to a premium cabin skyrocket. And what if I told you that a simple phrase at check-in could unlock a business class seat for you? Keep watching because that's coming up next. Hack number 5, the seat selection loophole. Most travelers obsess over picking the best economy seat they can find. But what if choosing the worst seat actually worked in your favor? Meet Sophie, a savvy travel hacker who always opts for the least desirable seat on the plane, the one at the very back, right next to the bathrooms. Sounds crazy, right? But here's why it works. When airlines need to reshuffle seating, they often prioritize passengers in the most cramped, uncomfortable spots for upgrades. Here's how it goes. If a flight is oversold and there are open seats in business or premium economy, airlines tend to move people out of the least desirable economy seats first. So by intentionally selecting one of these bad seats, you're actually increasing your chances of getting bumped up when the airline needs to free up space. But here's the fact. If you really want to maximize your chances, there's one more trick that can put you ahead of the rest. And it's coming up next. Hack number 6, the solo traveler's advantage. Did you know that traveling alone could seriously increase your chances of scoring an upgrade? Here's why. When airlines need to move passengers into business or first class, they prefer upgrading individuals over groups. Why? It's much easier to find one empty seat than to free up multiple seats for a group traveling together. That means if you're flying solo, your chances of getting bumped up are way better when the opportunity arises. Gate agents also tend to favor solo travelers because they're easier to relocate without disturbing the seat assignments for families or couples. So if you're flying alone, you've already got an edge over the majority of other passengers. Hack number 7, how to get an OPUP, operational upgrade. When economy is oversold, airlines need to move some passengers up to higher classes. But how do they decide who gets the upgrade? Here's a surprisingly simple trick. Sometimes all it takes is knowing the right thing to say. A former airline agent revealed one powerful phrase that can boost your chances. Are there any complimentary upgrades available today? Why does this work? Because airlines don't always offer upgrades automatically. You have to show interest. This question is polite, direct, and makes it clear to the gate agent that you're open to being moved up if a spot becomes available. And if there's a last-minute cancellation or an oversold flight, you might be the first person that comes to mind. But if you really want to increase your odds, there's another factor that most travelers completely overlook. And that's what we're diving into next. Hack number 8, how to network with flight crew and gate agents. You might not realize it, but a simple conversation could be your golden ticket to an upgrade. A former airline employee shares that. When it comes to last-minute upgrades, friendly and polite passengers often get the first pick. Why? Because flight attendants and gate agents have more influence than most people think. So, how can you use this to your advantage? Here's the secret. Arrive early, be respectful, and strike up a casual, friendly chat with the gate staff. Something as simple as, "Hey, how's your day going?" or "Looks like it's going to be a busy flight today," can make you stand out in a good way. Then, when the timing feels right, ask politely, "By any chance, are there any available upgrades today?" If there are open seats in business or first class, you might just be the one they remember when it's time to fill them.